everybody, and welcome to another edition of the CrossFit Games Update Show. I'm Sean Woodland with Tommy Marquez as we continue to work our way through the age group online qualifiers. Today, looking at the teenage divisions, and what's cool about these is that you take a look at the leaderboard and then just file some of these names away, because these are the kids that we're going to be talking about for many years to come.
And for some of these athletes, I think we're not too far away from not even having to file them away and being able to talk about these athletes on the individual side before they even graduate to 18 plus into the individual side.
We'll start on the men's side of things, the 14 to 15-year-old division, and every male who's going to the CrossFit Games out of this division is making his first appearance at the CrossFit Games. And this year, the top 20 teenagers go to the CrossFit Games, not just the top 10. We've expanded the field, and it's Dallin Pepper who takes the top spot after the online qualifier.
Yeah, extremely consistent. Every finish, 6th or better, wins 2 workouts, and workout number 2 and number 3. Sub 2 minutes in workout number 3. That's some great momentum going towards the games.
Let's go to the 16 to 17-year-olds. We have 8 returning games athletes in this field. Angelo DiCicco and Ramirez are both in their 3rd games each, but as expected, Angelo DiCicco dominates here.
Yeah, clear-cut favorite in this division. Wins the Open, wins the online qualifier behind wins in events number 1 and number 2. Got to the 3:15 bar in workout number 2, and then most impressively in workout number 1, 18:06 was his time. Would have actually won that workout for the division of the 35 to 39 men as well.
Over to the women's side of things, and we will start with the 14 to 15-year-olds. And there are 2 games veterans in the field here. They are Luisa Marquez and Devin Kim, and it's Devin Kim who takes the Open and hangs on to the top spot after the online qualifier.
Great year for Kim so far, 2 for 2, winning the Open and winning the online qualifier. All top 10 finishes in every single workout she's completed thus far in this season. And she won her first workout of the year by knocking out 22 muscle-ups in workout number 1. Great for her.
16 to 17-year-olds, it's Haley Adams who beats Kayla Stefano by 11 points. Both of them aged up into this division this year. Adams has the lowest point total of any age group online qualifier. That includes all of the Masters, and she is also competing at regionals.
Yeah, and she won this particular online qualifier by winning 3 of the 4 workouts. Her one lone blemish was a 4th place in workout number 2, where if she just got 1 more rep, she would have catapulted up into 1st as well. She's absolutely crushing 2017. 7 of the 9 workouts she's completed this year, she's won, so she is clearly in 1st.
Let's go back to the men's side of things. And in the individual competition, it took a while for the rest of the world to kind of catch up to the United States, but that is not the case with the teenagers. Only 16 of the 40 qualifiers out of those 2 age groups are from the United States.
Yeah, and I think that's great for the sport, because in recent years, we've seen this massive affiliate growth outside of the United States and internationally, and I think to be able to see that reflected on the sport side of things speaks to the efficacy of what these affiliates are doing inside the walls of their gyms day in and day out. And on the men's side of things, USA has typically dominated the sport. So to see this next generation of athletes coming up and performing extremely well, I think just bodes well for the success of the sport going forward.
I wouldn't want to call the 14 to 15-year-olds and the 16 to 17-year-olds like a minor league, because they are legit competitors on their own. But there is this system now in place where these kids are moving through the ranks, getting the experience they need, and then being prepared to compete as individuals. And Vincent Ramirez is a great example of that. Former champion, 14 to 15-year-old division, ages up, now getting more experience. And this is the kind of stuff that's going to prepare these kids to be on the big stage as individuals.
Well, yeah, because the teen division, beyond just showcasing the talents of these young athletes, these young men and young women, it serves the bigger purpose of helping to properly develop these still growing, still maturing athletes through proper programming and proper training. And that's most evident in the fact that we get to see athletes like Vincent and like Angelo DiCicco move up and find success, and as well as athletes like Nick Palladino and George Sterner, who 1 year removed from the teenage division are already competing at regionals in top spots on the individual side.
And we talked a lot about Palladino and Sterner last year, and I think a young lady that we will be talking a lot about probably sooner rather than later is Haley Adams. I mean, just crushing things in her division, and again, did well enough to get to regionals.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier that we might have some athletes who might not need to wait to graduate out of the teen competition to make to the games as individuals, and Haley Adams is one of those athletes. This is her first year in the 16 to 17 division, so she still has another year left, but she's already qualified for regionals. She's going to be at the Atlantic. She finished 10th in the Open in the Mid-Atlantic, finishing between Christy Adkins and Anna Tunnicliffe, 2 perennial Games athletes. So I think a lot can change in a year, and with the development we could see from her, she might be one of those top 5 spots at regionals in just another calendar year.
If she were a football player, we'd talk about her coming out of college maybe after her sophomore year. She'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
one of those rare talents. Want to congratulate all the teenagers who qualified for the CrossFit Games. We are going to be talking about you for many years. You are the future of the sport. Best of luck when you get to Madison. That is going to do it for us for today. For Tommy Marquez, I'm Sean Woodland, and we will see you next time.